Hey, gang. Thanks for being here. Okay, so let's talk about when did you stop including yourself? So I see this everywhere. I see it in the women that I work with. I see it in my friends. I see it in my own life. And I don't think most women dislike themselves. I think that most of us were just taught to put others first, to not be selfish. And I think we've become so good at that, so practiced at taking care of everyone else, that we've slowly stopped taking care of ourselves. And the scary part is that it happens so gradually that you don't really even notice. So, have you ever noticed that if someone you love, your best friend, your kid is struggling, you immediately know what to do? So, you check on them, you encourage them, you tell them to get some rest, maybe you take them out for coffee or dinner to make them feel better. You remind them not to be so hard on themselves. And you tell them that they're doing the best they can. But when it's you, you tell yourself to push through. You tell yourself that you'll rest later. You tell yourself to maybe stop being so sensitive. You tell yourself that everyone else has it harder than you do. Isn't that interesting? So this obviously doesn't start when we're 40 or 50. I think it started when we were little girls. And I think that, I mean, think about some of the messages that we heard growing up. So be nice, be polite, be accommodating, share, don't interrupt, don't be loud, help your siblings, don't hurt people's feelings, don't make a scene, don't get angry. This one I remember from the fried green tomatoes when the Kathy Bates character says, I never get angry. The way I was raised, it was bad manners. Yeah. So think about how all of this feels and how much of it accumulates and stays, not just throughout your childhood and adolescence, but how much it follows you into your other relationships with your kids and with your spouse, with your community, and how it just over time it just slowly takes over. Um, and it's not like any of these things are inherently bad. Kindness is wonderful, it matters, compassion matters, being thoughtful matters. But if those are the only messages that you ever hear, and no one is also teaching us things like it's okay to say no, it's okay to rest, your feelings also matter, you don't have to earn love, then something begins to happen. And what happens is that we become so incredibly skilled at paying attention to everyone else's feelings that we lose the habit of paying attention to ourselves. So, growing up in the 80s, one of the biggest songs was Whitney Houston's The Greatest Love of All. And, beautiful song, nice message, but no adult, at least in my life, ever taught me what that means, ever taught me what that looks like. They didn't explain what self-love looks like, because had they, I would have been taught boundaries. I would have been taught, I would have been taught how to say no. So I was taught to hug or kiss family members or relatives because to not do so would have been impolite or might have hurt their feelings, which means I wasn't taught bodily autonomy. Um, all things that would have probably helped me and you develop self love. The other piece of this that I think we don't talk about enough is the how women become the emotional caretakers of the people around them. So we remember birthdays, we plan parties, we plan holidays, we host Thanksgiving, we make appointments, we remember those appointments. We think about dinner and going to the grocery store. We wonder if everyone else is okay. We help with homework. We take care of elderly parents. My mom did all of this. My dad did none of it. They both worked like 9 to 5 jobs. They both worked full time. My mom had everything else on her plate, all of it. There's actually a name that researchers have given this. It's called mental load. And it's all of the invisible planning, remembering, anticipating, and emotional organizing that keeps life running, that keeps communities together. And most of it goes unnoticed until you're the one who's carrying it and you're just exhausted. So when you're constantly thinking about everyone else, it becomes really easy to stop asking yourself, how am I doing? Not because you don't care, it's just you've gotten so used to looking outward, looking, where everybody else is. So one thing I've noticed during a healing session with women is when I ask, what do you need right now? There's often a really long pause. And obviously not because they don't have needs, but because they're not used to thinking about that question, answering that question, sitting with it. They've become so used to asking everyone else that question that they've stopped asking it to themselves. And I think that that is probably one of the quietest forms of self abandonment that there is. A lot of times, I'll also hear women say that they would have booked a session sooner, or started therapy, or dealt with the things that they know they need to heal sooner, but it was just always easier to put it in the back burner. I get it. You know, I'm also a mom. And so, yeah, dinner, homework, school, activities. The problem is the more and more you put that to the back burner, the more childhood wounds or just accumulated stuff stays in your body. It gets stuck somewhere. So that's what I do. The hard, not that it's hard to get rid of, it's just that there's so much of it. You know, the more you put it off. So, what does this have to do with loving yourself? I think loving yourself and including yourself isn't one big decision. The same way that it was taught to you in increments and with many little lessons, I think that it's hundreds of tiny moments. I think loving yourself and including yourself, um, yeah, it's listening when your body says that it's tired. It's asking yourself how you're doing. It's letting your feelings matter. It's telling other people that your feelings matter. It's saying no without, believing that you're a bad person. It's trusting that your needs are just as worthy of care as everyone else's. Um, maybe loving yourself isn't something that you just suddenly feel. It's something that you practice, right? So one thing I'd love for you to try is this week, I want you to notice something. So whenever you ask someone else how they're doing or what do you need, take a moment for a second after that and ask yourself the same question. How am I? What do I need today? And you're not going to judge whatever answer comes up because we're all different. Just notice it. Like maybe the answer is, I need a strawberry milkshake because the kid in you wants a strawberry milkshake. Um, the first step toward loving yourself isn't changing who you are. It's just remembering that you're someone worth caring for as well. And if you need a reason to put yourself first, I have an amazing one. I have probably the best reason of all. So this is going to be woo, but I'm an energy healer, so it's par for the course. Um, the age of Aquarius. So I'm going to put up, I don't know where, somewhere, like a graphic so that you can see the differences between the age of Pisces, which we are moving out of, thank the Lord, and the age of Aquarius, which we are moving into. So as you can see, by all of the things in the age of Pisces, it was very hierarchical. It was a president, a CEO, it was a top-down structure where there was a queen, someone more important than everybody else, and everyone else stayed in line. Religious authorities were very important. Teachers, anybody with a sense of authority was pretty much more important than everybody else. A lot of war, a lot of ego, a lot of um, tribalism, a lot of identifying with your nationality, with your religion, rather than with humanity at large, which I see happening so much now, certainly in my life. People moving towards humanism rather than tribalism. So the reason why it's so important for you to heal and love yourself and include yourself is because the age of Aquarius is, oh my gosh, what's the word? It's defined by feminine energy. So the age of Pisces was defined by masculine energy. The age of Aquarius is feminine energy because rather than a top-down structure, it's more like a sewing circle, like just women all around sharing ideas and making plans and things like that, which means that the world needs you. The earth at this point in time needs you at your healthiest, at your best. It needs your feminine energy to bring in this new earth, this new world, which I find really exciting. The same way that things are right now, like things have to get really, really bad before it just explodes into dawn, into light. That's what's happening right now. So you're needed, and you're needed for the best reason possible, which is to make the world a better place. I know that sounds corny, but it's true. So if there's something that I want you to take away from this today, it's that I don't think women struggle to love and include themselves because they're broken or because they're selfish. I think many of us just spent years practicing loving everyone else. And the beautiful thing about practice is that you can always begin practicing something new. So if this conversation resonated with you, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Go ahead and tell us how many times this week or today you've caught yourself taking care of others first and not yourself. Or maybe let us know what is the first thing that you're going to do today to show yourself some love and to include yourself in the world and in your own life. And I want to leave you with this thought, which has completely changed my life. And I think it could do the same for you. And that is that your love for yourself is more important than anyone else's love for you. What that means is more than your spouse or your parents or your children or your religious community or whoever you have as like the pinnacle of importance in your life, your relationship with yourself, your love for yourself is more important than all of it because you're the only one who will be with you forever, guaranteed, guaranteed. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see, what other topics you'd like me to cover, and I'll see you next time.